In this video, I'll be answering the question, in which way does your media product, in this case my magazine, use, develop or challenge forms or conventions of real media products, magazine? So I'll be breaking this video into three parts: my front cover, my contents page and my double page spread. I'll be talking about the media conventions such as page numbers, mastheads, fonts, color schemes, style of photography, writing style, pull quotes and cover lines and more. So first with my front cover. As we can see from the masthead of my front cover, I've decided to use a sans serif font. It conforms to the format of most of the real rap magazines that you see today. I've decided to keep the O's in my masthead of hook transparent to connote a modern sense, to make it more trendy and make it more aesthetically pleasing. All of the fonts I've used in the front cover are sans serif. They are bold and again quite masculine, which is a connotation of rap magazines. The color scheme I've decided to use is red, black and white, as mentioned in previous parts of my coursework. These colors aren't usually regarded as feminine colors. The color scheme is quite simple, but at the same time it's aesthetic, it does look good, and also there's not too many mixes of colors, which keeps it quite simple, but again it does look good. And as I said in previous parts of my coursework, that's what I'm aiming to go for. These three colors are also colors that are usually used in current rap magazines. For the style of photography, I've decided to use a medium shot to capture the outfit of my star. The angle at which I've taken the photo is a little bit low. This gives the impression that my star is quite big and fills up a lot of the space, and this connotes dominance. There's also direct gaze featured in it. It's quite intimidating and it shows confidence of the star. The actual quality of the photo is quite clear. The lighting is very well lit. It looks quite professional, as it was taken with a DSLR camera. It makes it look much more clearer and professional than if it was taken with an iPhone or Samsung. The way in which I've decided to use cover lines in this magazine is quite different. It challenges the normal cover line usage. Rather than listing the cover lines as one below the other, I've decided to tile it on the background. These tiled cover lines almost gives it an artistic look to it as well. Although it is in the background, it's quite eye-catching and it is quite visible to any reader. It is also noticeable, so readers won't miss out on looking at the cover lines. The main cover line is in bold right below. This artistic approach links to the actual star, as is mentioned in previous parts of the coursework that the star not only focuses on music but also visual art as well. Now to the contents page. The purpose of the contents page is to obviously show the reader where what is and what page it is, what is going to be on the actual magazine that it wasn't shown on the front cover. In terms of the page numbers, I've made sure that it's ordered in a logical order, that it's chronological, descending from smallest number to largest number. It's been ordered in terms of the ones that's featured, the artists and other news as well. It's realistically ordered. For example, it won't go from 4, 8, 12 and so on. I've looked at existing magazine and made sure that it's spaced in a proper order, leaving room for example, ads. The masthead is also featured in this page in the bottom left, as usual magazines do. In terms of fonts, I've used two types of fonts. I've used the compactor font and I've used the Times New Roman font. I've decided to only use these type of fonts to keep it quite consistent, as consistency is prominent in most real magazines. These fonts are also easy and clear to read. I've stuck with the same color scheme of red, black and white. This also reiterates the point of consistency. This also gives it a much more professional look than rather changing the color scheme all of a sudden. In terms of the style of photography, the photographer has taken a close-up shot at an eye level. There's also a direct gaze. This is almost confrontational and it's quite personal, and it gives a sense of confidence for the artist. And though there is writing covering half of the artist's face, it is still eye-catching. Again, there is good lighting and also the quality. In the left corner, it also features links to social media. This is a form of convergence where readers of the magazine can stay informed by checking their Twitter, checking their Facebook, etc. This is a feature that's used by a lot of magazines nowadays as a technological advancement, so that all of their customers customers stay informed and also stay linked to that specific magazine brand. Finally, the double page spread. As mentioned in the contents page, the page numbers that were featured on the contents page are also featured on the actual double page spread. This is quite logical, as since they're mentioned on the contents page, it's easier for the reader to flick through and see where it is. The masthead, like in the contents page, is also featured in both corners of the double page spread. This is quite a common feature that's seen in Real Magazine. In terms of fonts, for the pull quote, I've decided to use a font that almost resembles graffiti. This links to the urban roots of hip-hop culture. At the same time, it is quite artistic and it also is intriguing for the reader, and also links to the aesthetic objective that my magazine aims to portray. In terms of the main body of text, the actual article, it features a Times New Roman font. This is consistently used throughout the whole body of text. To the left of the star, I've decided to use a Futura font, a sans serif font. The text Bibble on the Beat also links to the main cover line on the actual front cover. The way I edited this is to take a graphical approach. Rather than the quote being horizontal, I've decided to do it vertical. This adds a new aspect to the cover, makes it much more exciting, makes it much more intriguing. The only word I've decided to keep horizontal is the word on. This adds to the graphical aspect. This is also another example of me developing this type of convention. Again, I've decided to stick to the color scheme just to keep it consistent, makes it look good, and also it makes it look much more professional, like real rap magazines. For the style of photography, I've decided to use the same style that I used in the front cover. It's a medium shot, there's direct gaze, it's well lit, and the camera quality is good as well. In terms of the writing style, for the main body of text, I wanted it to be engaging and entertaining, but at the same time it's informative of the actual artist. In the beginning, I included a small little intro just to get the reader settled in. Without wasting too much time and text, I've decided to go straight into the questions and answers. In the middle of the text, to make it much more fluid and engaging, I've included short little descriptions. And for the end, I've decided to put a small little outro just to conclude the article. Featured on the double page spread, I've also put credits to the photographer, the writer of the article, and also a link to the Hook website. These are things that are also featured on Real magazines. To commence the actual article, I featured a drop cap. This is something that's featured in the majority of magazines, so I've decided to incorporate it so it makes it much more real and professional. Finally, for my pull quote, I've decided to use an interesting and intriguing quote from the actual article. The sentence "I've got more to prove" leaves room for curiosity, which could intrigue the reader to go straight into reading it even further. I decided to put "prove" in red and underline it to make it much more alerting and assertive, a connotation that rap artists usually are associated with. And it also sets the tone for the article. It gives the reader an idea of what information they are about to receive. This has been a video of me talking about how my magazine has used, developed, or challenged media conventions. Thank you for watching.